Hi everybody, it's Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art, and I'm here to do the next pages in the Heartfelt Creations Italiana Riviera collection mini album that I've been working on. So here's the cover, the first few pages. I'm not going to go through all these now. I'll leave the links below to the other ones, and I will do a final walkthrough when I'm done. But we're on to the next two pages. I will be using the Heartfelt Creations pocket and flip fold inserts B black, and I'm using the second one, the 8 by 8.5 or 8.5 by 17 inches, which is pretty big. It's really large, and as I said, I was having trouble with this, but what I've decided to do, because I try to do something different each time to show you, I'm going to move this out of the way. This is turn it the right way. Yes, the right side of the pages. And this is actually from one of the layout papers, because I want to make sure I get to use those. I'm being very frugal this time. And what I've decided to do is keep the right side very simple, because I'm going to have the flip on the left page. But if I'm going to use this layout page, I would like people to have the option to tuck the picture underneath the grapes or just glue them down. Now that means I'm going to have to fussy cut, so I have my X-Acto knife out. Oh, please be careful if you do this. I thought you would enjoy watching me suffer through this. So I'm not going to worry about the teeny flourish, but I'm going to try to go around the grapes. And when you do this, it's good if you can move the papers around, preferably to the knife. You need to have a cutting board, which mine's kind of abused at this point. I probably need to get another one. As a matter of fact, I'm going to turn it around so I can work someplace that doesn't look like it's all cut up. And I'll bring you in. I'm going to, as I said, I just want them to be able to lift up the grapes, maybe the leaves. I'll see how hard this is when I get this in here. And just tuck the picture in between these two items if they so choose. So I'm going to go right there, give them a little bit of room, and I'm going to start to turn. And I also have my glasses on, but I'm doubling up, so I have reading glasses here so that I can really see the edges. And I don't know how much I'll be able to speak while I'm doing this. Maybe I'll speed this part up.
To the chase, no time to waste. Oh, we've got things to do, something to face. Can't rest here. Pick up your gear. Don't look behind yourself. There's nothing there but fear. And let's be on our way. Pull yourself along with me and help break the day. Oh, let's be on our way, my friend, 'cause you can't stay here anymore.
I have it. Alright, so hopefully the way this is going to work, if everything is actually loose, and I may put a little extra glue, because I'm going to have to glue the other side. What do I have? this black piece of paper. So see, the person's going to be able to put their photo in like that. I think that will look neat. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing down here off camera and come back and show you it completed. Alright, so I have fussy cut out the bottom, and I did run into some problems down here where it was just too skinny for me to expect somebody to be able to put a picture back there and not tear the leaf off entirely. Not that that would be a complete disaster, but less the pain in the neck for the person using the album, the better. But I have decided that, if I can find the stem, right there, pretty weak. And all I'm going to do is put just a dab of glue right at that spot and hope that it strengthens that spot a little bit. So that's it. I'm just going to let that dry. Alright, so I'm putting my knife right where the purple ends, where I want it to cut, and just push the ruler right to the edge with the knife there, and I'm just going to smoothly come straight down against the ruler with a nice sharp knife, and my other hand's not in the way. And I just want to make sure that that corner is nice and clean, so not to tear it. There we go. So it's starting to lift up. I'm not going to worry about this little spiral here. That's a little too fussy, and it wouldn't last very long with somebody trying to put a photo in here. Alright, now I just need to go to the grapes. Which I don't think I've quite arrived. That should be it. There's one tiny little crumb of a paper hanging on. There we go. Alright, that should be it. The frame should pop out. Oh, there's one hair of a paper over here that needs some help. There we go. Okay. Carefully not to tear our leaves. There we are. Okay, so that frame has now been taken apart. What I'm going to do now is take some of my distress ink. I'll back up a little. And take some of my distress ink. And again, so far, these things are usually in the store, huckleberryherbs.com. Just a little dab, because I want to take away the white. And it's nice, it kind of emphasizes the edges of the leaves. And I'll probably get ink on me, but it'll make sure that where we've cut into the paper, the white spots aren't showing up. And it looks a little bit more clean and professional. Okay, so just gonna ink up the edges of these leaves. Okay, ink this all up. That looks a little better. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but to my eye, there's less of the white. Alright, so in an attempt not to be too perfect, there we go. Now, I'll cover up the ink. We're going to take this photo layout page and place it into the album on top of the gold matting. So I have chosen to use mostly just cardstock gold. This is just an inexpensive 12 by 12 pad that I've been using for this. And I'm going to glue this up. Okay, get this down. somewhat straight. Alright, so this page is going to have a lot of gold matting. I'm sorry if it shines, but now you can see that when I put this here, a person would be able to tell that they can put a photo here. Now I could just cut a line across here so they could tuck it in. But what I think I'm going to do is leave it be. I may regret that later, but rather than have them try to shove it all the way down in, I think I will leave it just like this. And if they can get a photo that's just a little bit larger and tuck it in, great. If they want to just put it right on top, fine. If they want to try to cut it to the exact size and then tuck the picture into these pieces that we fussy cut, they can do that. Or they could just take a little photo and put it right here, whatever they decide. But I will glue it up far enough around the edge so that they could get the photo in where they want. So I'm going to stay away from the edge of the frame, leaving them enough maneuvering room to be able to get the photo in there. Alright, and then all along the edges. Alright. That should do it. And put this down. And like I said, I may come back and stamp one of the lovely grape images right there. And we have left room for somebody to tuck their photo in here if they so choose. They may actually need an X-Acto knife to get it to work, but you would do it something like that, okay? And like I said, they could also put a photo just like that. So for now, I think that looks pretty interesting, and we are not going to use that. We're going to mat flat on that. So it will glitter be facing this way, and we will be using this part to be glued down. But before I glue it down, I'm going to get it matted. So I'll show you the front and then I'll do the rest off camera. The front, making sure that I've checked before I glue. This is the part that's going to be going down in the book, so this will be closed, and the cover, so this whole double page and flip out is going to have gold matting, and that saves on designer paper. And I think this looks pretty nice as well. So let me get that piece on, and again I have left quite a bit of black edge. I like it, and it saves on paper as well. Okay, so here's the first one. And then I've chosen this pretty gate, ornate gate with the grapes and the roses. I did want to introduce more of the purple as I move along. And put that one down. And for a page like this, again, I'm thinking, what can I do special on this page? Because I'm pretty much going to leave it, and I have inked already with Tim Holtz Distress ink in Vintage Photo. All along the edge is already done. Okay, I think that looks very elegant, and it's what you will see when you open the book up. And then I'm going to mat the rest, because mostly this is going to be gold, at least at first. So I'm going to mat the whole rest of the flips and then come back and show you me putting it into the book. So after much consideration, I've decided I really do want this part of the book to be about leaving the space to put big photos. Okay, so I want it to be about the photos, and I may come back and do some more embellishments before I show the final walkthrough when I'm completely done with the book, as I'm doing the best I can to just show you the major parts of how I'm laying it out and how I'm using the papers sparingly. So when you open the page, you come to this section, which I have taken my bone folder and lifted up a little bit and made sure that a person could tuck something in, or you could tuck it in just a little bit and leave it as a frame there. But whichever way you choose to go, what I've decided to do when you first flip through here, I would like to see some of the purple represented there, because we have 2 pages with the purple and the green. So I have this border strip that comes off of the layout pages, and I'm just going to put that on the very edge of the gold right there, so that your eye doesn't think color, oh, just plain gold when you look at this 3-page layout as it is opened at the moment. So I'm just gonna put that there, and whenever you're doing this kind of work, keep the wet wipe handy so that you can get it up before it dries onto the gold, and a tissue to wipe afterwards would be helpful. I'm just going to put that right there, and I think that that does the job of making sure that when your eye travels across, you see that it is finished, but it's left for you to put your photos. Now, as you open here, I want this to all be about the photos as well, but I have done essentially the same thing. So when you have the entire spread open, I have this border, and I have inked it up with Vintage Photo, and I'm gonna close off the left side. Now that I have this border edge over here, so that your eyes don't see nothing but gold all the way to the end, I think I'm going to leave that just as it is to make it quite clear that this is for larger photos, and the gold will back up or frame the pictures that you put in here. I'm going to move to the cover, where I have fussy cut from the papers this Special Moments, and then I just cut around the edge with a piece of gold to frame it, but I didn't try to be too picky about every single movement, so it was a general cut around the edge. I'm just going to take the backing off because I've decided to put this on with some dimension, and I'm going to place that right here in the center so that there's some interest, because I'm really not doing anything else to this page. I'm just letting the papers be beautiful and the lovely gold frame with the pops of color. And then on this side, I have cut out some of the bottles and glasses and inked them up. I tied a little piece of seam binding around the neck of the bottle. I'm just going to add a little interest over here in the corner. I don't want the neck of the bottle to actually go into the frame and make it harder for people to negotiate putting a picture in there. So I have that little bottle and glass with a tiny bit of the seam binding down there. And then on the first flap that you open, taking another of the border, I'm just going to ink that up a little bit. I've cut the edges at an angle so that I'm able to just put a little something down on the border. I'm only going to glue here and here, and then I'm just going to place that right there, so that we've now added a little place for you to tuck a little something. On the top, over here, I actually went back and either reused or put in another magnet by lifting the paper and putting the magnet right under there, or the washer maybe. These pages gave me a lot of trouble, and it's days in between, so forgive me if I don't have that correct. But essentially there is a washer under here, and there's a magnet in between the two pieces of paper here. So I cut one of the tags out and then just cut another piece of the paper that into the shape of the tag, and when I glued them together, I glued a magnet in between, stuck some seam binding, and there you go. Now this actually attaches with the magnet, so it will stay there. And so there's a little something up at the top there. And down here, I have taken one of the tag-sized papers, cut them out from there, the pad, and put a piece of gold, very skinny, thin edge around for the frame. I put another piece of gold on the back, and I'm going to carefully, because this is still wet, just so you can see it, add that, holding those two sides, so that when you open the book, the first opening of this page does present some interactive things for you to write little things on. And then of course you have all these pages to put lots of photos, so that's why I want to make this a little bit more interactive. And then I do have one more set of the bottles and 2 glasses, so that there's a little something on one of the gold pages from the papers. And I'd like to bring it a tiny bit over the edge. I left enough of the black border so that just doing something simple, like leaving the bottom of the glass a bit over the edge, creates a little bit of, you know, escaping from the frame, 3-dimensional feel. Oh my goodness, these pages gave me a heck of a time. So, all said and done, we have a beautiful place to put either a picture, a small one right here, and use the gold edging as the frame. They can tuck it in, fill up the whole space if they want to. We have a lovely introduction to this set of gold framed pages with the special memories. When you open it, there are some tags so that you can put some journaling, maybe a label of some sort, and then lots of places for photos. Oh my goodness, I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry it took so long. One of the weekends I had planned to work on this, the power went out, and then I had a whole bunch of other issues to worry about. I will be back as soon as I can, but it is, as of this moment, the week of Thanksgiving. So, as best I can, and there are tons of things going on with Heartfelt Creations, etc., and the store, and then, of course, choir director and teacher. Busy, busy time. I'm trying, guys. I will try to get to the next pages as soon as I possibly can, and I think I'll be veering away from the gold and heading back to, we really need one that's just all about the purple. I have the purple in here, but I'm still craving some more of the flowers and grapes in something. Okay, well, we'll see what happens next time. Till next time, everybody, you can find these products at huckleberryherbs.com. I will leave the link to the store, as well as the link to the other parts of the video if you're interested in backtracking and watching the other ones. And I'll be back as soon as I can. And because it is Thanksgiving week, at least right now in the year 2016, I don't know when you're watching this, let me say to everybody, all my subscribers, a blessed and happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Bye-bye.